So today we're in the upper west side of Magnolia. Magnolia is one of these enclaves that is just northwest of downtown Seattle, and you've got kind of three distinct areas. You've got the east side of Magnolia, the central part of Magnolia, and the upper west side, and that's where we currently are. The thing about the upper west side is you have much wider streets here, it's a lot quieter, and most of the homes in this area, average, anywhere from like 1.5 to 2 million. So the residence that we're looking at today is listed at 2.7 million, and you're gonna see why. Right now we're outside on 37th Avenue, and what's cool about it is you'll see once we go inside, it's gonna have panoramic views of downtown Seattle and Elliott Bay, and it's a very quiet residential street. So if you look at all the houses, what's cool about Magnolia too is that they're all unique and different. The architecture is not cookie cutter. You didn't have large developments. You had all these unique properties that were built by different builders. around. I'm not a master gardener, I'm not a horticulturist, but I can tell you is everything here was not cheap to invest in. And so you've got beautiful uplighting. And for the evenings, you've just got this nice natural glow. Got a beautiful bench facing kind of away from the house, right? So now it feels like you're truly in this immersive garden, immersive arboretum. And that was just the main floor. Other cool elements, right? Look at this awesome set of like 5 windows. You got privacy bamboo, but an opportunity to let in more natural light and bring kind of the nature outside in. So, if you're like most people, you actually have to work to afford a residence like this. So, this was the perfect office space for my client. Nice wood wainscoting and a great view to the backyard. Perfect place to get some work done. Got a beautiful half bath here. All right, let's head upstairs. So check out this, right? Again, when it comes to effort to design a home, you're not gonna see this in a new construction home. Just solid wood and adding some cool architectural elements to the home. Vertical windows here, bringing in that beautiful backyard in. All right, now we are upstairs. So most families want this type of floor plan. 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, very spacious bedrooms. Here's one beautiful bedroom here that overlooks the backyard and the Japanese garden. So nice built-ins, custom closets. Again, everything solid. And you've got the Brazilian Ipe hardwood floors carrying up to the top floor also. All right, probably one of the coolest design bathrooms that I've seen, very unique. You know, not a color palette that you often see, but you've got the circular tile on the floors and you've got a really deep bathtub. Again, all right, lots of effort spent on the design. Everything makes sense, right? And you've also got the floor tile as a little pattern right in the middle of the tiling of the bathtub. Got another nice large size back bedroom here. Again, right, look at the corner orientation of windows. If you're looking at new construction today, you're gonna get one window there, and they're gonna call it good. That's it. So this is absolutely gorgeous, right? Look at that. I mean, who wouldn't want that in their own home? Convenient laundry room over here, and you know, potentially the star of the entire property. This is the primary suite. The primary suite is probably one of the largest I've seen, yet it all makes sense, right? It's not overly built, in fact, that there's not too much square footage. You got a thoughtful built-in over here, a king-size bed, great bench seating here, thoughtful storage. You can just kind of kick back right here and look at downtown Seattle, Elliott Bay. So enough room for a couch here, right there, right? You can see Elliott Bay right off in the distance there. So this is what I'm talking about here, where you can wake up to this every single morning. They've got these ultra view invisible window screens that actually are really like nice to the eye and don't necessarily feel like you're looking through a window screen, right? So that's an update that allows them to keep the windows open, get some fresh air in here. You know, there is air conditioning up here, but because of the way this home is designed, you can get a lot of natural airflow and not need air conditioning. Look at this incredible tile work, right? The tile work extends all the way from here to the countertops, to this deep soaking tub, to a fully tiled double shower. I mean, it's honestly mind-blowing. Like, the cost to actually do all this tile work is incredible, and it looks absolutely stunning, just beautiful. And of course, if you got a nice sized primary suite, right, you've got to have a proper walk-in closet. All right, last but not least, where else can you have guests over, right? To allow them to have some privacy, right? And not be here in one of the upper bedrooms. And that's why we have a perfectly designed lower level, perfect for really a flexible space that you can use for many reasons. And if you want storage, there is an incredible amount of storage. This is super cool. It just opens up the space down here and a large storage space underneath the stairs. And then we have this lower level family room, rec room, could be its own private bedroom suite. So it's truly flexible. Right now we have it kind of staged as a gaming area and a really cool place to just hang out again and have some maybe peace and quiet, remove yourself from the rest of the house. Got a beautiful wood burning fireplace here, good high ceilings, recessed lighting, really nice place to relax. The owners use this as a guest suite. So I'm sitting here on a couch, but they had this as a bedroom area and it was perfect for their guests. Their guests could separately enter the home with the garage code, so allowed for a lot of privacy. There is a bathroom here on this floor as well. And storage, storage, storage. This is massive storage through here, massive storage through here, and again, some cool built-ins, right, that allow you to have, you know, nice pieces of art, books, records, as my client used to have them. The rest of the space here is, again, thoughtful and makes sense. You've got more storage, you've got your water heater here, 2-car garage. This is your nice size 3/4 bath. And here, built into the outside here behind this door is a lovely wine cellar. So, or storage, whatever you need. 3309. Here we are leaving the residence and we're gonna drive down to the Magnolia Bluff. And as we drive through, you're gonna see some of the really cool houses in this neighborhood. We're gonna drive over to this southwestern part of Magnolia. And what you're also gonna see is, you know, even right now, we've got kind of direct views of the Puget Sound as we drive down this street. Got sailboats off in the distance. I mean, look at some of these fabulous residences here. This is actually a newer community and was built by the same builder, but the builder did a good job of making sure all the homes look different to kind of fit in what the uniqueness is about Magnolia. Yeah, this is a nice corner lot over here, and we're kind of in this tree-lined area of West Viewmont Way. And this West Viewmont Way is one of the most famous trick-or-treating spots, actually, where they create this big, large haunted house, especially in some of these alleys. You know, there's a more modern new construction home right there. You know, there you go, you got brick Tudors again. Probably the earliest ages of this area is around maybe 1920 or so. So there's an area over here called Perkins Lane. Perkins Lane is super cool, kind of a windy road that takes you down to the water. So kind of some of the few waterfront homes. And there's not too many of them down there, but there's also been landslides there. So they're properties that are highly desirable if you've got, you know, a little bit of comfort, but there's also some risk there, you know, buying on a steep slope over there right on the water. Here you wouldn't even know we're in a residential neighborhood right here as we go through this tree-lined street. And then we're gonna pop out here on the south end of Magnolia. So Magnolia Boulevard, for short, is called the Boulevard. So a lot of trees here, so you don't have the vista, but you can see through there a little bit and see the Puget Sound. And then check out these stately homes on the left, right? All very different. So homes over here probably gonna start on average around 3 million starting point. So when I say average, yeah, that's a starting point, unless you have a really small home. Here the water comes into view more. We've got Bainbridge Island out there. You actually see West Seattle. All right, so here we are in the westernmost point of Magnolia here at Discovery Park. This is the West Point Lighthouse. It was the first lighthouse in the Puget Sound area. No longer works, but you can see the big shipping containers coming through here. We've got classic Seattle, quote unquote, beaches. This is what it's like here. But you can see the tide is low and you can walk the beaches, you can find clams, you can find razor clams. It's pretty cool. A lot of I would say, just life here on the shores of the Puget Sound. We've got ferries in the distance. There's a big shipping container, sailboats. It's super windy out here, so you don't see a lot of leisure boats. All the leisure boating happens over in Lake Washington and Lake Union on the east side over there. But that's the viewpoint of West Seattle, and you've got these great, nice walking paths that you can just hear and kind of get a peaceful experience of what Seattle and the Puget Sound is all about. Thank you for taking a tour with me of this fabulous Magnolia residence, plus the highlights of what else Magnolia has to offer. If you've watched the video this far, you're probably interested in the Seattle area and you might be wanting to move here. So if you need some help, our team is here to serve you. We've helped over 850 families find success here in the Seattle area. Call me, text me at 206-369-8201, or just comment below and we'll be in touch. Take care.